As many as 8 new ministers were inducted in the Conrad Sangma cabinet just a short while ago in what was the biggest rejig in recent years. Now, among those to be inducted are Brenning Sangma, Timothy Shira, Sostins Sotun and Wailadmiki Shila of the NPP. Then we have Metbah Lingdo and Lakshman Rimbui of the UDP, Shanbor Shulai of the BJP and Methodius Dakar of the HSPDP. Governor C.H. Vijayashankar administered the oath of office and secrecy. And among the ministers who faced the axe are NPP's Ampareen Lingdo, A.T. Mondal, Rakam Sangma and Kamingwan Yumbon, UDP's Paul Lingdo and Kirmen Shila, BJP's A.L. Heck and HSPDP's Shakliar Warjri. So that is the big breaking news at this hour, viewers, coming in from Meghalaya, where as many as 8 new ministers have been inducted into the Conrad Sangma cabinet just a short while back in what was the biggest rejig that has been seen in recent years. Now, among those to be inducted are Brenning Sangma, Timothy Shira, Sostin Sotun and Wailadmiki Shila of the NPP, Metbah Lingdo and Lakshman Rimbui of the UDP, Shanbor Shulai of the BJP and Methodius Dakar of the HSPDP. Governor C.H. Vijayashankar administered the oath of office and secrecy to the newly inducted ministers. And among ministers who faced the axe are NPP's Ampareen Lingdo, A.T. Mondal, Rakam Sangma and Kamingwan Yumbon, UDP's Paul Lingdo and Kirmen Shila, BJP's A.L. Heck and HSPDP's Shakliar Warjri. And Northeast Live spoke to some of the MLAs before the swearing in. Let's listen in to what they had to say.
How are you feeling? Just how are you feeling?
No, obviously we'll feel excited. Means like we feel excited and feeling happy. So that's all I can say right now. So I think still, I think only after swearing in only I can share. I think I can share after swearing in only.
But was it expected?
Means like it is a dream of every legislator, I guess. Once he contested election, winning MLA, so obviously that is the hope and expectation to be like serving the not only the constituency but the state as a whole. So I think it's a dream of every legislator who contests election.
How excited are you to this swearing?
Yes, of course. I'm very excited to, as the Honorable CM has taken my name, inducting me in the cabinet. So I'm very happy. So, okay, let's, after swearing in, we'll be speaking. Thank you.
So viewers, it was a ceremonious oath-taking event. As you can see, all the ministers are present and of course there are smiles going all around. It is the biggest rejig in the Meghalaya cabinet that has been seen in recent times. A number of new ministers have been inducted while a similar number has also faced the axe. So some of the most prominent names are included there. Of course, names like Ampareen Lingdo, Kirmen Shila, A.L. Heck amongst others have faced the axe, while new ministers have also been inducted earlier today. So among those who have been inducted are Brenning Sangma, Timothy Shira, Sostin Sotun and Wailadmiki Shila of the NPP. Then we have Metbah Lingdo and Lakshman Rimbui of the UDP, Shanbor Shulai of the BJP and Methodius Dakar of the HSPDP. These are who have been inducted, the new inductees into the Conrad Sangma cabinet. Of course, the Meghalaya governor administered the oath of office and secrecy to them. And of course, as I was talking about the ones who have faced the axe, among them, of course, is NPP's Ampareen Lingdo, A.T. Mondal, Rakam Sangma and Kamingwan Yumbon. Then UDP's Paul Lingdo, Kirmen Shila have also faced the axe. So have the BJP's A.L. Heck and HSPDP's Shakliar Warjri. So a number of new faces in the Conrad Sangma cabinet, and it could not have come at a more opportune time for the Conrad Sangma-led NPP, who are trying to strengthen their base as far as the upcoming assembly elections in Meghalaya are concerned. Of course, this is a massive bid by Conrad Conrad Sangma and his government to strengthen their party ahead of the all-important assembly elections. And to give us all the latest, I'm being joined now live from our newsroom by our chief news editor, Nabrun Goswami. Nabrun, it was a very ceremonial induction ceremony that we saw earlier today. Of course, it has been one of the biggest rejigs that we've seen in recent times. What are your key takeaways as far as this is concerned?
Absolutely, Ronak. This is massive. This is unprecedented, something that has not been seen in Meghalaya politics, at least in the last couple of decades or more. And the way the Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has pulled it off so far is also something that needs applause, because it's not easy to remove as many as 8 ministers, many of whom are senior names, very senior names, who have been holding ministerial berths for the last 2 decades or more in various governments, holding various portfolios. So yes, while you expect in a cabinet reshuffle, you expect that 3 to 4 ministers may be replaced, and while portfolios are taken away from others and given some light portfolios, this has not happened this time. Now, what has worked to the advantage of Chief Minister Conrad Sangma is a sort of an unspoken agreement between the coalition partners of the MDA-2 when the government was informed in 2023 that midterm, of course, chance should be given to other MLAs of the coalition partners to take charge, to take up the ministerial berths. For instance, we noticed during the tenure of MDA-1 also, ALHAC had to make way for Shanbor. Of course, that didn't come easy. Similarly, this time, of course, the process was smooth. So if you notice, Ronak, the equations, the party-wise equations remain the same. If there are 4 NPP ministers who have been shown the door, 4 more NPP MLAs have been inducted into the cabinet. Same is the case with parties like the BJP, the UDP, which of course has now brought in Metbah Lingdo and Lakman Rimboy replacing Paul Lingdo and Kirman Shila. We have Shanbor of the BJP replacing ALHAC again, and we have Metotias Dakhar replacing Shakliar Warji if we talk about the HSPDP. So this is where the party equations remain the same. The number of berths, cabinet berths assigned to a particular party remain the same. So party-wise, there is no reason to be upset about it. Of course, individual leaders wise, what we have learnt is that almost all the ministers who have been sacked or who have been asked to step down for now, almost all have attended, but our sources are telling us that Ampareen Lingdo and Paul Lingdo have given a miss to this swearing-in ceremony. They may have personal reasons. We do not want to speculate on that right now, but barring Ampareen and Paul, almost everyone has attended the swearing-in ceremony, which says that things are under control as of now.
Right, and of course, Nabrun, as you rightly mentioned, quite a few big names there, who have faced the axe. As you've mentioned, Ampareen Lingdo, Paul Lingdo. These are 2 big names of the Conrad Sangma cabinet who have now faced the axe. Any surprises for you, Nabrun, as far as the new inductees are concerned?
Well, see, the choices, of course, what we learned from our sources was that there are other names. There are at least one other name or a couple of other names which were there in the list that was made, and changes were being made till as late as 9:30 to 10 yesterday. So, of course, the berths have been given. We don't want to comment on any specific names here. Of course, if we talk about the UDP, Metbah and Lakman Rimboy probably fell out with Conrad Sangma post the post-election theatrics in 2023. Otherwise, he was the former Home Minister, of course, Lakman, but things didn't go well for him in the MDA-2 and he was not given any ministerial berths. Of course, if we talk about the NPP, also new leaders, these are MLAs who were also wanted the ministerial berth to serve their people. And what the government has said, is that the reshuffle is a bid to recalibrate coalition equations.
Right.
And all the leaders, the main leaders from these parties, coalition partners, should be given the chance. And it is also to inject a fresh momentum into governance. So the message is clear that here is a cabinet change, a large scale, a wholesale cabinet change. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma wants these ministers to deliver. If we talk about parties like HSPDP and BJP and UDP, there are no surprises whatsoever, because these are the MLAs that are there. You replace them with the other set. There's not much. Of course, NPP, someone like an Ampareen Lingdo or a Paul Lingdo may not be too happy. Of course, no one is happy over a decision of being axed from the cabinet, but people like Ampareen Lingdo, Paul Lingdo wouldn't be really pleased with this decision, because at least Paul Lingdo, for instance, was holding multiple portfolios. Tourism was very active and wouldn't have liked to lose his portfolio. Having said that, I'm sure there is still understanding between the coalition partners, because the equations remain the same. The number of berths that have been given to the party remains the same. That is where the NPP and Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, that is something which they would bank on to hold this coalition together.
Right. Also, Nabarun, lastly, very quickly, how opportune do you think, how timely do you think this big cabinet reshuffle is by the Conrad Sangma government?
It was long due, and Northeast Live was one of the channels, only channels rather, which had been constantly saying for the last 2 to 3 months that a cabinet reshuffle, a big cabinet reshuffle is imminent. Things, of course, have been delayed. We understand why, because this is not an easy decision, replacing 8 ministers. The cabinet reshuffle would have happened last week. We had the unfortunate demise of former Meghalaya Chief Minister Didi Lapang, and finally the decision was taken yesterday, but definitely this was long due.
Absolutely long due it was, and finally we have it, and it has finally happened. Thank you very much, Nabarun Goswami, for giving us your take on this big political development from Meghalaya.